welcome to Can You Game?
Howdy, folks.
Howdy. Now I sound like... What's his name? That guy from Toy Story?
Woody.
Yeah. Howdy. Cut! This week on Can You Game On It, we are interviewing. This week on Can You Game On It, we are actually reviewing a monitor. We have actually, it's really weird. Like, I've been doing Can You Game On It for about 1.5 years now, reaching 2 years, and we have never once reviewed a monitor. Honestly, this is just so mind-blowing to me because I was just talking to CK just now and I was like, why am I having so much trouble reviewing this? Like, I've done tech for so long, and I just realized because I have never reviewed a monitor in my whole goddamn life. So CK, do the streamers! Then you just kind of like streamers, okay? Like
I decide when it happens, okay?
God damn it! Anyways, let's talk about the specs for a little bit. Okay, so this bad boy was, when I was setting up, CK saw me just struggling. And I was like, why am I so weak? And then I saw the spec list. I just realized that this bad boy, the monitor itself, including the speakers, yes, this comes with speakers by the way, is 9.55 kilograms. But it's 34 inches with 1440p resolution, 21 by 9, which is because it's ultra wide. So I'm actually really in love with this monitor. This monitor, right? Like, it's I keep saying this about so many things, like a lot of things look sleek, a lot of things look minimalist. Okay, like for me personally, if I want a clean setup on a normal gaming monitor, I need to get a stand on my own. Like, those really expensive monitor stands with the VESA. Yeah, I need to get those because then it looks sleek. But this one, even without monitor stand, it looks sleek. It's just one bar and it comes out to the speaker. And the thing is, because it already comes with such a great speaker, I don't have to worry about finding another speaker. Like, some speakers as well for gaming side, like they look so bulky and huge, and you don't need it. It's just one bar and it's already there. And the thing is, okay, we're moving on to the bar, but I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna go to this. It has RGB bar. This thing here, this thing here, it comes with another thing. It's not just a light bar, guys. It is also a touch bar for the volume. Another thing that I want to talk about is the controls. So a lot of gaming monitors come with a hella lot of buttons on it. Like you see this, it's literally just one knob. And if you want to go to anything, you don't have to press like one button. Like, I noticed like one thing about my own monitor is that you have a knob. Yeah, it's perfect. You have a knob. You press on it and then it comes out a menu. And then it's like, press, and then on the screen, like, this button is for menu, this button is for this button. But this one is like everything is just the knob. Like, you just push it to the side and it opens up the menu. You push it to another side, it opens up the other one. If you want to press it, then you just press on the knob and it changes everything. So you see how minimalistic it is, that it doesn't have so much goddamn buttons. It's the word CK uses is intuitive. I call it genius. Okay, now talking a little bit more about cable management. So if you can see there in the back, like the cables, I like how the cables are done. Like, for a lot of monitors, it comes from like this side. Like, one side has like all of these ports, one side has all of these ports. While I love the idea of it being accessible to so many different ports, but it does come with one thing. The cable management can be a whole total nightmare. But for this one, because how it's done is like, you can take off this part. I'll show you guys. This part here is the back, and it's actually with magnets, okay? And to put it on, you just have to like clip it back on and it just goes back in. So because it holds the cables down and because everything is just put there so nicely, that's something I really appreciate about this. Also, speaking of cables, guys, so when you buy normal gaming monitors, you get an HDMI cable, which I am very thankful for. Like, thank you, gods, for giving me a free HDMI cable. But this one, it doesn't give you an HDMI cable. But I'm not mad. You wanna know why I'm not mad? Because it gives you a goddamn display port. For you guys who don't know why a display port is so important, is because for high refresh rates and better data transfer between your PC to your monitor, it's better to use a display port compared to an HDMI. This monitor goes up to 165. You want all that refresh rates, FPS? You're gonna need that display port. Okay, so now let's talk about gaming on it. So Valorant, okay, I'm just gonna kind of mush this in because it's hard to kind of like separate it. Okay, I tried 3 games on it. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Control, and Valorant. So Valorant for the FPS. So the thing is, I cannot say like, oh, the FPS for this monitor is great or whatever, because it depends on your machine. So for you guys out there who thinks, oh, this monitor is not able to give me, no, that's your machine. This monitor can give you 165 Hz. So how did Valorant look like on this monitor? Well, let me tell you, playing the game on this, I love it. I mean, my PC has absolutely no issues pumping up over 300 FPS for Valorant. But the thing is, this monitor can only support 165. That's number one. And number two, for Valorant, it does not support widescreen. It only supports 16:9 and not 21:9. So you're gonna see black bars on the side. I was a little bit thrown off at first, but after all, it didn't really matter. For games that support ultra wide, such as AAA titles like Control, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, hell, let's even throw in Genshin Impact. They look absolutely great because of peripheral vision. It really helps with immersion, not just because it's ultra wide, but because it's curved as well. So you kind of get like a great world view. Now that we're done with that, let's talk about the speaker a little bit more. So I did mention about a touch bar, but how does it sound? So a lot of speakers, stock speakers on monitors don't sound good, let's be real. They're very soft, you don't even notice that they're there, let's be real. So the speakers actually sound like how an external speaker should sound. That's how great it is. It doesn't sound like a stock speaker from any other monitor. And that's what I love great about it. And honestly, when you play games such as, say, Genshin Impact, Sea of Thieves, any AAA cinematic game, like it is amazing. Like it really adds to the immersion. It sounds really good and they're actually really, really loud. Okay, so let's move on to the menu real quick. So like every monitor, it does come with a menu, and I already mentioned like how the ease of use because of the knob is so good. So let's talk a little bit about what the monitor comes with. It does come with a gaming assist mode, and you can actually just set up multiple crosshairs, turn on the FPS counter on the top left or top right of your screen, or even change the RGB. I feel like for crosshairs, that's really normal on a lot of gaming monitors. But for the FPS counter, I find like it's new. But here's a big but here. So the FPS counter isn't that useful because it only shows the FPS your monitor is currently running on. But if you're running a game, it will not show how many FPS the game is running. So you're still gonna have to turn on maybe the NVIDIA FPS counter or even the in-game FPS counter if you wanna know how many FPS your game is running. Because honestly, if you just want to see how many FPS your monitor is pumping up, by all means, sure, just put it on, but it's just going to be there, it's just going to take up space, and it doesn't really give you the info that you actually need. So let's talk about dark field control. So if you guys didn't know, here's a fun fact. Not all games actually support HDR. So the thing is, for games that don't support HDR, when you go to dark places, it's just pitch black and you cannot see anything. Like this monitor, with the help of dark field control, it kind of mimics HDR for games that don't support it, so you can actually enjoy the game, especially when you're in darker areas. So for games with HDR I mentioned earlier, like say Shadow of the Tomb Raider or even Control, where basically as CK says, the game is pretty much dark all the goddamn game, you know, it gives you a sort of depth and color. It gives you a sort of like idea that there's something in front of you, there's things moving in front of you, there's silhouettes. Basically more ranges of black, but for games that don't support that, dark field control is what you want to look for, and it comes in two levels. Level 1, if it's not enough, you can go up to level 2. So what I liked about this monitor is the size, it's the shape, it's the minimalistic beauty, the speakers, just everything in general. I am a big fan of this monitor. Honestly, I was the last person to think that Huawei would come out with a gaming monitor, much less a gaming monitor that is actually so hella good. Now, the cons, the FPS counter. Not really a big fan of that. Didn't really need to be there, but you know, take what you can get. Alright guys, so over in Malaysia, this monitor is 2,488 ringgit. You can check out your respective Huawei sites as well as retailers if you want to check out the price for this monitor in your respective countries for yourself. Honestly, for 2,488 with an external monitor, I think it's pretty reasonable. What do you think, CK?
Same here. It's very feature packed. It's a very one and done kind of monitor.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, the question today is, can you game on the Huawei MateView GT gaming monitor? Abso-freaking-lutely, and it's amazing. I'm Tash, and now I'm gonna game on it some more because CK can't.
Just gotta rub it in. Just gotta rub it in.
Of course. Laters!